Do you have any update on your visit to Israel? How long it's going to be, and how did all this visit came about?
Well, it's just the one show that we're doing, of course.
Yeah.
So we're going to be going to Tel Aviv. I'm not sure the exact date. Let's see.
The date, I can tell you.
October.
It's 29th of October.
When is it?
October 29th.
29th, yeah, I knew it was at the end because we were here in Ireland just before we come to you.
Yeah.
No, we're really looking forward to it. I mean, obviously, I've not ever been to Ireland
I believe it's the last show of the tour.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The last one.
How this whole thing came about? How did anyone contact you? Because it's kind of rare to see such a metal performance here in Israel.
Well, I was a bit surprised myself. Again, not having been to Israel before and not really knowing a lot about the musical culture there. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that it was a place that many metal bands did go to. But in talking to some other people that I know, the Scorpions, for example, who were there not so long ago.
Yeah, they have a great show.
It was just absolutely great, and I expect it'll be the same. But again, we were contacted by our agent, who is obviously opening up the Israeli territory to rock bands like ourselves. Mm-hmm. And when the offer came, we said, yeah, it would be great.
What kind of live set can we expect from you? Is it,
Well, we do so many songs. I think we do more songs than anybody on earth, it seems to me. What we're doing is we're presenting, actually, for this tour, not only songs that we've done from Black Sabbath, from Rainbow, but we're also doing the entire Holy Diver album, our first album, from beginning to end.
Oh, that's good.
And that's the first time we've ever done that before, so that'll be pretty special in itself. And as I say, you'll also get the other songs, other Dio songs.
Yeah, you're spoiling the surprise.
Oh yeah, well, no, it's okay. No, because it's not that you have to go and shock everybody with the songs that you play, because I think if you do them well, when you play them, that'll be the satisfaction that we need. So
yeah, still, it's kind of rare to do a whole album from beginning to end.
It is, yeah. We're lucky that this one, this album isn't quite like today's albums, which are quite a bit longer. Mm-hmm. I think it's only 40 minutes from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So it's not as though we're going to be doing only that. Mm-hmm. But it's we were asked if we would be interested in doing it that way in England, and we thought that sounds interesting. We've never done it before, so we've decided to make that the show that we're going to do throughout this tour, because we go to Russia first for a month, then we go to UK for almost a month, and then we come to you. Yeah. So it'll be the same show that we'll be doing for the next couple months.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what songs from the Black Sabbath and Rainbow career will you do?
Well, we do Heaven and Hell from Sabbath. Yeah. We do Sign of the Southern Cross from Sabbath. Mm-hmm. For encores, we do Mob Rules. Mm-hmm. From Rainbow, we do Man on the Silver Mountain.
Of course.
Terrible Woman. We do Along with Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
And we do Gates of Babylon.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Quite a few songs, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that it's important when you've been in bands like that before, who have written good, great songs and performed great songs, and now don't do them anymore because, of course, Ozzy is back with Sabbath, and they don't do any of the songs that I did with them, mm-hmm. and there is no more Rainbow. So, we've always tried to keep our hand in and keep those songs alive, because the only way you'll hear them is if we do them.
Yeah, of course.
Really good songs, it's important to keep them alive.
Yeah, sure. Okay, also you recently did a cameo in the new Tenacious D film. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that was quite interesting. I've not done films before, and I'm not really an actor anyway. But Jack Black is a good friend of mine, mm-hmm. and Jack appeared on one of the videos that we had done from the album called Killing the Dragon, mm-hmm. and he appeared with his partner, with Kyle Gass from Tenacious D. Yeah. And at the end of when he was finished with his part in our video, he told me that he was going to be doing a film, that he and Kyle were writing a film, and he wanted me to be in it. And I said, well, of course I'll do that. And then 2 years down the line, I got a letter from Jack saying that he was finally going to do the film, and he still loved me to be in it and to play the part of Ronnie James Dio, which was an easy part to play for me. I didn't really have to rehearse an awful lot for that.
You just were yourself.
I just play myself, but I don't have a speaking part. I'm not an actor in it, but I sing a song to Jack when he's a young boy, whose father has told him that rock and roll is evil, takes his guitar away from him, and he goes out of Jack's room and closes the door, and behind the door is a poster of me.
Did you?
He starts to sing a song to me, asking for help and what should he do, and I come alive from the poster and then sing back to him again. So that's my part in the film, but it was
Sounds good.
So much fun to do it. I like Jack so much. He's just one of the most aggressive people that I know. Not as a person, but with the work that he does. He's really over the top, and it was fun to be around him. The people who did the film, all of the crew were wonderful. You could tell that they enjoyed working with the guys in Tenacious D as well, because it was a real family kind of atmosphere, a real rock and roll family kind of thing. It was just an awful lot of fun. And
also, I read about Rudy Sarzo, your bass player, and he wrote a book. What is it all about?
Rudy wrote a book about his times in working with Randy Rhoads in Ozzy's band.
Yeah.
He felt that that situation was very, very misrepresented, and he wanted to tell the true story just for the sake of Randy, who was his dear friend. He wanted to tell it the way that Randy would probably want to tell it. Randy was a very calm person, a very introverted person, very, very smart guy, who didn't swear all the time and do drugs and any of those kind of things. And I think that Rudy felt that his image had been very tarnished through these years by what people have said about him, whether it be Ozzy or anyone else in his camp. So he wanted to tell the story for Randy. He felt it was something he really needed to do because it bothered him so much that Randy was the picture of Randy being painted was not really a great picture that he felt. So he wrote that book, and it's really just about his times with Randy in that situation.
Another thing to look forward to.
Yes, absolutely. It'll be great.
Yeah. You have any plans of writing something?
A book for me. Everybody's got to write a book sometime. I started one about 2 years ago, and I'm probably about a third of the way through it. But because we've been working so much, I don't really have time to sit down and do it, focus like I have to do for any project that I undertake. So it's been put on hold at the moment, but I will finish it. But I'll just need some time, not to be playing music, but just to be able to sit for a couple of months and do it the way I want to. But yes, I will be doing one, and I think it'll be incredibly interesting. But it's not a book at all that will say, well, this person that I played with was a horrible person, and he did this to me, and I hate him. That's not what I'm all about.
Yeah.
This, for me, will only be telling about the funny things that happened, great experiences. Most of them very funny, some of them very sad, but nothing about individuals, nothing about people as what they are. That's not my problem. I only tend to try to remember the good things in life anyway.
Do you feel this current lineup is steady?
Something I tell you, after all the times that I've been through changes and I used to think that every band I was in was going to be the first time and the last time I would be in that band, that I would begin with it and I would end with it, and that would be my career. But having it happen so many times with being in Rainbow and then not being in Rainbow, being in Sabbath and not being in Sabbath, and being in Dio, then going back to Rainbow, and then seeing all the people come and go, all the different versions that there have been of the Dio band. It just makes me know that around the corner something's going to change, and you can only hope that a great lineup will stay together. But you're dealing not only with people who love music, you're dealing with their own personalities too. They have lives to lead, and sometimes those lives go in different directions than the band does, and they have to go. It's always sad when that happens. So I guess I wouldn't say to you that this is going to be the band that I'll be with forever, but it would be nice if it were.
Yeah. Do you feel any difference when working with veterans players compared to young players?
Oh, there's a hell of a difference, yeah. There really is a great difference. But, Well, you know, the difference really is that when you have younger musicians who come into a band with veteran players, your role becomes that of a teacher. When you play with veteran players who know what they're doing most of the time, your role just becomes someone who doesn't really have to teach, but has to instruct as to what your vision of that band is. And once you can make that clear, then the veteran player will obviously play it very, very well. So those are the two differences. I mean, I really think when a young player comes in, they have the attitudes and less experience, and they don't know what really, really happens on the road. And we've been doing this for so many years now that all the good things and the bad things have happened. So any kind of instruction that you can impart to these people not only does the band better, but it certainly does them better too. And my attitude has always been when I play with a player, and that player is really, really excellent player, and wants to go on and carry on and do something else, and remain or continue to be a big star or try to be a bigger presence in the music, I'm all for that. I think that's wonderful. I don't think anyone should be stopped from taking steps in their own direction. But the young players always stay around for a little while until perhaps they get so taken up with their own success that they'll go away, and that happens a lot.
Okay, how do you consider yourself or your band on the heavy metal map of the world? Do you see yourself as one of
myself?
Yeah, you see yourself as one of the pioneers, or?
Well, I mean, everybody tells me how wonderful I am.
Yeah.
I guess I should believe that by now. But, you know, I don't look at myself that way. I mean, I think that once you start believing all the great things that people say about you, is the time when you start believing in them. And then I think it just takes away your ethic, your work ethic. I think you just sit back and say, well, I'm so good, I don't really need to do that. I never think that way. I always think that I know what my capabilities are. I know what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. And I've always worked at trying to create Ronnie James Dio and making him unusual and someone that will always stick out. That's what I try to do with the band. That's what I try to tell the players that I play with as well. So I don't get ahead of myself. I wasn't brought up that way. My parents taught me that, you know, that you're not special. You may do one thing well, but that doesn't mean that you're any better than the man who fixes your television set, because you can't fix it, can you? No, I can't. So does that make me better? No. I think you must keep your feet on the ground. You know, I'm not shy when it comes to knowing that I'm good at what I do, but I'm also don't have so much bravado that I talk about it or think about it. Because for me, the next day is a day I still have to prove myself. It never stops, especially as a vocalist. You have to always be on top of it. You always have to prove yourself day after day. At least I think you do. And so when you have that kind of work ethic, that it's got to be better than it was yesterday.
It never ends.
You know, I don't think there's a problem.
Yeah. All right. About a year ago, David Feinstein, your ex-group member in Elf, he released a new album. Did you have a chance to listen to it?
Yeah, I listened to it, and in fact, they did a show. We did a festival show in Germany. Not last year, not this year, but the year before. And his band was on the bill as well. So of course I saw him, and I heard him play a bit. We had to go on, so I couldn't hear the whole set. But it was good, and you know, David does what David does. You know, he's a pretty basic player. He likes to play. He's a great performer. He likes to perform. And I thought that, you know, for something that he did in a small way, I thought it was excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Your lyrics always been about fantasy or fantasy oriented. Did you ever consider writing about current events or? Things that are on the news.
Current events, and I think that it's a shame that I've become pigeonholed by what people think that I'm always going to write. I've written many songs that didn't have anything to do with fantasy. But I think that once you do important songs that really deal with fantasy, especially with the album cover images and the attitude that's portrayed on the stage, with the fact that I was in Black Sabbath, which I think makes everything seem a lot darker than perhaps it really is. But I have written things about current events, but I tend not to write them by saying to you, this is wrong, this government is wrong, and we must stop this war, and this must happen, and that must happen. I don't think people like to be preached at. I've always felt that people like to have their imagination tickled a little bit and then make up their own judgment. So what I try to do is I write songs about those same things I just said, about how bad government can be.
Yeah.
I can give you examples in the song Killing the Dragon. Killing the Dragon sounds as though it's a fantasy song, but it's not. It's a song about the dragon being symbolized as what is unjust in this world from the people who rule us. Mm-hmm. A bad king, a bad president, a bad premier, all of those kind of things. And I just tend to write them in ways that seem as though they're put into another time and another place. But the message is always the same. Mm-hmm. And there are too many dragons that need to be killed out there. Yeah. I just put it in a different way.
Just symbolic.
If anyone enjoyed that kind of a message better because I said it that way, then I've done my job.
Mm-hmm. You use the dragon sometimes as a symbol to something else.
Absolutely. Most of the things that I've written, I use a lot of symbolism. Mm-hmm. I think that's the only way you can get out of talking as we're talking right now. Yeah. Talking with words. And I don't write love songs, and and if I happen to touch upon a romantic subject at all, I will normally put it into a fantasy perspective, so that I'm not talking about the boy driving up in his car and picking his girl up, or having a fight in school. Mm-hmm. Those are things, of course, that happen, but I like to put them in different ways, put them in different settings, in a different time, in a different place, which also allows the music to be a bit more romantic, I think, too, if you are writing something that speaks of a relationship.
Mm-hmm. All right. Also, last time we talked, you told me about the Children of the Night project with Bruce Dickinson, among others. Any progress in that project?
Well, only that, we've pretty well gotten close to finishing the song for it. But then again, as I always say, all these other things come up again, which is my work, my life. Yeah. And and we're touring, as I say, Russia and England, finishing with you, but we don't have very much time after that. Mm-hmm. After that, we're going back to Europe again and doing a Scandinavian tour and a German tour. Mm-hmm. And then following that, we're going to South America again. So our time will be taken up probably until the end of March.
So you're going safe and slow on this project?
Well, it's slow because you have to involve other people. Mm-hmm. If it were only us doing it ourselves, it would be, okay, let's write the song, let's go in and record it, okay, next. Mm-hmm. But, you're dealing with people who are going to be singing and playing on this album who are not people in this band, who also have different other careers. Yeah. They have to be gone at certain times, and of course we'd like to have them all there so we can not only do the musical performance, but to film it as well and release that as a DVD with the project. Mm-hmm. So it's down to a matter of the things that we all must do, all the work that all the musicians have to do, because after all, that's their career and that's their job. Mm-hmm. So it's going slowly because of that and that only.
Yeah. Also, you told me about the box set which should be released. Any news about that?
About which? Sorry.
A box set of Dio.
I'm not sure when that happens. I think I know Warner Brothers are putting together that now. Mm-hmm. And what its release date is, I don't know. I think they're really taking their time. There are a lot of things that have to be gotten from other sources. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's probably a lot of legality inside of it, with all the bands I've been in and all the things that have to be cleared. Mm-hmm. But I really couldn't tell you. I could.
All right. Also, I guess you probably heard about the Ozzfest X incident on the Maiden show.
I did, yes.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty, I think, honestly, I really think that perhaps they chose the wrong people to mess around with this time.
You mean Iron Maiden or Ozzy?
Say again?
Yeah, the wrong people, you mean Iron Maiden or Ozzy?
Oh, I think, again, I'm not pointing fingers to anybody personally. I'm not saying that Ozzy did this or that Tony did that or Geezer did that. That's not the case at all. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is that whoever instigated what happened and whoever started the problems that came up, were obviously from Sabbath's side of it. I mean, that's certainly what I know. Yeah. And what I'm saying is I think that, they don't realize that whoever did this didn't realize just how strong Iron Maiden is in this world. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's, a huge mega band. Yeah. And they have fans that just won't stop. So I think it's just going to cause more and more controversy. The last I had heard yesterday was that some of the Iron Maiden fans threaten Sharon Osbourne's life or something like that. I don't know. It all seems really, really rather silly to me.
Yeah, to me too. It's just people...
From what I hear that happened, I think that, whoever did it was very unprofessional.
Yeah, people just want to hear music, not war.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. But, some people get into that, battle of the bands mentality, and that's when it happens. They both are very strong in what they do, and they have a lot of people working for them, and I'm sure it only takes a few to start rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that it happens, because as you say, it's just supposed to be about the music.
Yeah, sure. Okay, last time you also told me you playing the trumpet among your project. Do you find time to play it?
Do I find time to play what? I'm sorry?
The trumpet, you told.
No, I don't.
No.
I stopped playing that when I was about 17 years old.
Oh, that's okay.
I hated it. I hated it. But it was a great thing for me to do. My father wanted me to have some musical direction.
I see.
And so at age 5, I started to play the thing, and I wanted to be a baseball player, so I didn't want to play the trumpet because I used to have to practice 4 hours every day, and I did 4 hours every single day of the week until I was 17.
Wow, that's a lot.
It was a very easy instrument for me to play. I was quite good at it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that I wanted to do as a career. I couldn't see myself being just one person among 4 or 5 trumpet players in an orchestra, which is what happened. I could see myself trying to be the best of those 5 or 6 people in the trumpet section. But, I just felt that I needed to express myself in a different way. And obviously you can't talk while you're playing the horn, and you can't sing while you're playing the horn.
Yeah.
So, I opted to go the rock and roll route because it just gave me such great satisfaction.
Okay. Also, as we said, your tour in Israel is the last show. Do you have any plans after the show?
Well, I don't. I think we're probably leaving the next day.
Yeah.
Remembering again that we'll have been on the road for about 2 months. It gets very difficult out there for 2 months. Not only being with each other for 2 months, but
when will you be in Israel?
I'm sure that we'll just pack up and go home. I'm just hoping that that we will be able to see some of Tel Aviv, because I really, really want to experience what it's all about.
Will you be in Israel before the show?
Yeah, long enough.
Will you be in Israel before the show? Do you have time, or just?
Will we what? Say again?
When do you plan to be in Israel? To come to Israel before the show, 1 or 2 days before, or just for the show you're coming?
I think we're probably. Let's see. I can tell you in a moment here. I think I have a piece of paper that tells me that information, which is unusual for me in the first place, because I never have information about what we're doing. I hardly ever know when the show is. Of course, I can't find it. Let me look through these, shuffle through these papers and see what's here. No, I don't have it.
Okay, never mind.
I hope it'll.
I hope I'll see you anyway.
Be able to spend a day and have a look around.
Yeah. Okay, I hope I'll see you backstage there.
Absolutely, of course you will.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. And if you have any other message to the Israeli fans, they're really looking forward to this show.
Well, just that we're really looking forward to it as well. We really are. It's going to be an experience for us that we've never had before, and I think life is so important to have new experiences all the way through your run on this planet. We're really looking forward to it. It's a great band. They can't wait to play for Israeli people.
Yeah, I can tell you, for Israeli people, it's kind of a fantasy to see such a metal band in Israel, because it's very rare to see a metal show here in Israel.
Well, we want to be like Scorpions and bring it over to you guys.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that that the promoters say, wow, all those people. Maybe we should have another band here too. I hope so. But I know whatever happens, the show we play will be great, and the people who will come to the show will enjoy it. And I'm sure of that.
Because people here kind of have a bad taste after the Megadeth show, if you heard about it, which was stopped after 5 songs. Did you heard about it? It was about 4 months ago.
What happened?
The barricade just collapsed after 5 songs, and they stopped the show, and that's it.
They stopped the show?
Yeah, they stopped the show, and everyone went home.
Well, were they very disappointed?
Very, very. People wait for this Megadeth show for years.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. I don't see why couldn't they just carry on and play some more?
So the Dio show is our torch.
Well, we won't worry about the barricades. There won't be a problem, and we'll play. No matter what happens, we'll sort it out.
All right, Ronnie.
Okay, man.
Many, many thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks, kid.
All right, thank you. I'll see you.
Okay, man.
Thank you. Bye.